Hello, friends. I hope you're doing really well. And I had someone reach out to me and ask this question: how can I be or stay an attuned eater in social situations? So, again, this weekend we'll have a little blog post giving you some other kind of journal prompts about this. But in today's video, I just want to say, well, I think we have to start at the beginning to assess a couple things. What makes it hard in the first place? What that means is we have to look at our emotions, we have to look at our beliefs, and we kind of have to look at like, well, what outcome do you want? You say you want to be an attuned eater, but is it really, I want to be attuned, I want to eat what I want and not be judged about it, or I want to eat what I want and not care what people think about it. Like, what is it you're wanting? So we need to start with like, well, what's preventing me from being able to do that? So I do have to make the caveat and disclaimer that I don't think that we're going to be in a situation ever where we never have people who don't have stuff around food. I mean, I think that's just where we are in the world these days, where a lot of people can't help but project basically their inside beliefs and feelings and thoughts come out. You may have done nothing to provocate that whatsoever. People just project when they're in defense mode. Like if they're eating socially and they're feeling uncomfortable, they're more likely to project out loud what can't stay contained. It just comes out, whether we're a mirror for them or not. That's just going to happen, especially when people are actively on a diet or actively trying to do something to deal with their internalized, fat hatred, or their I'm in intense pain or terror about being in this world, taking up space in this world, dealing with other stuff that's maybe not on the surface, about, what do I look like, or food or body, but it's overcoupled with that from other kinds of trauma. So there's all kinds of reasons people are going to be out in the world and say stuff. The other part of this is us. What do we still believe about, like, if you're like, I'm afraid they're going to judge me, the reality is you probably have a part of you inside that judges you. And why is it judging you? That's the work that has to be done first for attuned eating to feel kind of natural out in the world. All right, so if you have an internal criticizer, judger, nitpicker, health anxious part inside, there's going to be some projecting on our end as well that we have to process and deal with and talk out and journal out. It has to be compassionately witnessed, right? So we have to do that work. The other part of it is remember that it takes time. It takes time to get basically your mind and your body on board with each other, that we are safe enough to eat enough food to get satisfaction, so that when things are more out of your control and other people act a certain kind of way, that it doesn't have to impact as much, or even maybe at all, what you do with your food. And that takes a lot of practice and really, honestly, like hundreds of experiences of you first eating in a, what's the right word? Stewarding kind of way. So that may mean at the beginning that you're on a meal plan and that you are, eating what you need to be eating, even when your emotions and, you're not feeling it basically, but you do it anyway because you're trying to teach your body that you're a safe caregiver and that you're going to show up even when things are hard. It takes hundreds, if not thousands, of experiences to have that, so that your hunger fullness signals get pretty accurate. And even in the environment of maybe you've got some other health conditions that make that much harder, it might take you even longer to get to that place. So all I'm saying is there's a lot to process to make social eating more attuned. And I just really implore you all that are struggling with to give yourself a lot of grace. There's a lot of pieces here that have to be worked through. So not only is the maybe meal planning kind of stage of eating, and then the hybrid like intuitive eating meal planning stage, and then the intuitive eating stage, and then you've also slipped in there some health stuff, maybe changes for supportive eating, and that's all, but the intent has been really just about care and not about restriction. All that at some level on board enough, and then you've done enough compassionate witnessing of these protective, projecting parts of ourselves that, like, we're terrified and don't know how to feel safe. Once enough of that, I'm not saying perfection here, but enough of that's been done, you're going to find that, like, you're able to, you might have a little bit of fear, but then you're able to, like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? What's the truth? What are my resources? What am I anchored to? You're able to do that enough and enough and enough and enough times where it's like, eventually you might not even get bothered by what other people are doing. You can be social, and it's what other people have got going on is not about you, and you know who and what you belong to. And that builds enough internal safety to where it's like, you're okay. You're okay eating, and you can hear your body signals and take care of yourself the best you can in the situation you're in. So I hope that helps. This information doesn't do this for you. That is the nitty gritty in the trenches kind of work that, needs to be done on your own and with safe people. And, that's the kind of work that's why when sometimes people talk about they're in nutrition counseling, that's the kind of work we're doing, is like, what makes that hard, and who says, and like, how old is that, and what's the truth about how food works, how your body works, what you need to do, and what's that got to do with everybody else. And that all takes time and patience.